Greetings. This is TK Trav, aka Travis Magus, here with LVX777. When it comes to magic and manifestation, focus is everything. Learning how to properly use your mind as a tool to bring manifestation is a primary focus. Focus is the focus, right? And that has a lot to do with mental transmutation, which is essentially the ability to transmute thoughts and feelings from one state to another state. Because the universe that we live in is mental. The all is mind, the universe is mental. It's another way of saying that our thoughts create reality. Now, every stray thought doesn't necessarily create your reality, but what you think on a repetitive basis, what you tell yourself, what you feed to your subconscious mind does begin to manifest. All right, the subconscious mind is a symbol-based operating system. Now, what that means is the subconscious mind is a powerhouse. It's a generator of experience. And everything that you feed to the subconscious mind, if it penetrates, it begins to manifest it. Now, to be able to break the barrier and communicate with the subconscious mind, the easiest way to do so is 3 different methods. You do it through symbols, you do it through repetition, and you do it through trauma. These 3 things impact the subconscious mind, and if you take a hold of doing these things on purpose, you can guide the subconscious mind to produce the reality that you want. Now, this is really a key thing as to why religious systems and the school system and the media and the government are able to control people, right? This is essentially the science of mind control, because with the repetition of the news, with repetition of different subjects in school, with the repetition of the same 5 Bible stories in church every year, over and over and over and over again, it begins to impregnate your subconscious mind, and you begin to see the reality through the lens that's given to you. Especially if you don't research these things, especially if you don't find the definition of why certain things are being fed to you. Because what's going on is you are a battery, you are a farm, you are cattle, you are sheep, and your God power is being used to manifest a reality that benefits someone else more than it benefits you. This is why I feel so strongly about this subject, and I make videos on this subject, because everybody has the potential ability. Everyone has the power if only they learn how to tap in and intentionally manifest the reality that they want. So this is why a lot of magic is centered around sigils and symbols, because these symbols evoke certain feelings, emotions, and thought forms in the subconscious mind. Even if you don't understand what the symbol is, the collective unconscious understands, right? The Eye of Horus has been a symbol around for tens of thousands of years, right? Maybe hundreds of thousands. As long as human beings have had eyes, the eye has been a symbol, right? Some say the gateway to the soul, right? When you see a symbol of an eye, it usually communicates to you subconsciously. Likewise, basic shapes, triangle, square, circle, these things all have an innate meaning and a definition. Now, the beautiful thing is you can learn how to reprogram any symbol with intention, right? Again, this is why mantras and affirmations work so well, because every day that you say your I am statements, I am powerful, I am whole, I am healed, right? I am free, I am wealthy, I am abundance, I am prosperity. When you say these things to yourself every single day, it begins to penetrate the subconscious mind, and the subconscious mind finds any way to make these things into a reality, because you're continually feeding it into your mind. And if you're not seeing physical results, your subconscious mind has no choice but to produce a reflection of what's inside into the outside. This is how the whole science works. So it's not simply just hoping, praying, wishing, and believing. It's a lifestyle, it's a process, it's a frequency that you have to get into of doing. Repetition, right? As far as trauma is essentially something that causes an intense emotional spike, that whatever is happening when you're feeling that emotional spike, it leaves an imprint, right? Things like abuse, child abuse, and, traumatic events that happen to you growing up, it leaves an imprint. So anyone associated with that imprint, it leaves a certain feeling. And in your life, if you ever come across a similar event, your subconscious mind references its database, its memory banks, and it compares what's going on now to what has happened in the past. So that's why a lot of people get triggered by different things, right? So what I've been talking about in my last videos is learning how to go back into your mind and recognizing that you are being triggered by certain events, and to stop and analyze why you feel triggered, why you have this emotional outburst, why do you get upset, why do you get sad, why do you feel these things whenever something happens. As long as these things trigger you, you don't have control over yourself. The person with that trigger, with that button, can press it at any time and send you into a different emotional state. People who get upset when they watch the news and they watch Donald Trump and they feel so passionate about politics and this, that, and the third, you're giving your energy away. And the people that put the news on the television and put it in your face and put it on your Facebook feed, somebody up that chain of command understands what's going on. And when you feel triggered, it releases endorphins and different chemicals that make you feel a certain way. And we can begin to get addicted to these feelings and these chemicals. So you keep going back to that same person's Facebook page just to argue, just to state your opinion and express your beliefs. And you get stuck in that loop. And all that energy that you have that you could be using to manifest the life of your dreams, you're now just feeding it away into the ethers, just giving it away. For what? It doesn't help you. It doesn't benefit you at all. So the thing is, focus helps you to penetrate the subconscious mind. Your thoughts are like a stream of consciousness, okay? The beautiful thing about meditation is it allows you a moment to be still and recognize what's going on all around you. When you still your body and you master being still, right? When you start to be still, you notice that your body wants to fidget, it wants to move, you want to scratch, you want to move and do all these things. You understand that the body has a language. The body is its own animal. It's its own vehicle. So the first step is to master the body. You be still. You have discipline over the body. You recognize that the body is communicating to you, saying that it wants to fidget or scratch, but you don't allow it to do so, right? You exercise control over the body. Now, once you do that, you're going to notice that your thoughts begin going everywhere, right? These different thoughts start to pop up. Are they yours, right? Not necessarily. You're the observer in a sea of thoughts. And we do this every night. Some people that have trouble going to sleep, you find yourself laying in the bed, and now that everything's quiet, you've got no distractions going on, you might start to hear things like the house creaking, or, something outside, the fan going, or you begin to notice little things that have always been going on throughout the day, but you don't pay attention to them until your mind is still. So now the job and the task at hand is to learn how to not be moved and distracted even by the subtle influences going on all around you. Some people are afraid of silence. They're afraid of silence because they understand that when they're still and when they're quiet, a lot of these negative repressed memories and fears and traumas start to come back up. They begin to resurface. So that is one of the most difficult battles of the beginner, is to really confront and face these fears and these suppressed emotions, these suppressed feelings, right? Nobody wants to experience that. But you got to think about the long term. When you confront these feelings for what they are, just feelings, you face them. You watch them rise up. Let it get as bad as it can. Cry if you've got to. Let that energy out. But you'll notice after a while, it will begin to subside. It'll begin to go down. It'll begin to fade away. All emotions come and go. They're temporary, all of them. Whether it's lust, you don't stay horny forever. Whether it's anger, right? When you're getting upset, triggered, and angry, if you count to 10 and take a couple of deep breaths, that angry meter will begin to drop. Even happiness, right? Even joy. These things come and go. So the mission at this stage is for us to realize during meditation that these things are temporary and they don't define us. They're part of the experience, but it's not your personality. Controlling yourself enables you to control larger aspects of your reality. Okay, so once you begin to still your body, once you begin to still your mind, now you can start to recognize the fine line between what it is that you call you and what it is that you call the universe. Because when you're really silent and you begin to get better and better at meditating and stilling your mind, you start to see the dichotomy of the observer and the thinker. Because somebody's asking the questions and somebody is hearing the questions being asked, right? You want to get into that middle ground of being unattached. Observe these things. When you're meditating, the key isn't to stop your thoughts. The key is to recognize your position in the universe. You are at the very center. Everyone is the center of their own universe. So all these things are part of the tool set, part of the toolkit at owning and mastering your reality. And you got to be positive, right? You got to be confident. You got to be fearless. You got to be able to face yourself, right? Because people who run from themselves and run from the truth, they don't have a sturdy core. They don't have a confident center, a confident base of operations to move from. So when things do get hot, when things do get scary, the first thing you're going to do is retreat because you're not used to handling this type of confrontation. So again, this is where the positive affirmations come into play. Every single day when you get a moment that you're not really doing anything, just say out loud, I am in control of myself. I am master of my emotions. I am master of my body. I am master of my mind. I am master of my destiny. I am in control of myself. Repeat whatever it is that you want. State it in the present. I am that. You know, a lot of times people say that you shouldn't really get into magic and the occult if you're depressed or you have emotional issues. And that is true for a reason, because most people are going to skip this internal work that goes on at the beginning. You got to work on yourself. Otherwise, whatever mental dis-ease you have is going to filter through all your magical work. Because you're using this power all the time. When you're depressed, you're focusing on the negative. You're focusing all your energy on the past, on things that make you feel down and gloomy and sad. You're focusing all your power on negative things, and it continues to manifest because you keep making yourself feel down, depressed, and negative, right? And it's an endless cycle that keeps on going and going. So you have to intentionally put forth effort to break free from that cycle. You've got to tell yourself, I am happy. All my basic needs are met. I have everything that I need. Even if you don't, you keep repeating it to yourself to get it into your subconscious mind through the repetition. You surround yourself with symbols that make you happy, that make you smile, that make you feel good. It might feel funny at first. It may seem silly at first, but this is what you do to bring yourself back up. All right. People that might have attention deficit disorder, it might be very difficult to sit still and focus. But it takes a little bit of mental discipline. It's not easy, but it's simple. All right, simple and easy aren't the same thing. You have to put forth the effort to try. And I promise you, when you put forth the effort to achieve what it is that you want, the universe is going to give you a little bit of help. And it's like a two-step process. You put forth the effort, the universe puts forth its effort, and it continues in a cycle. And you want to get that cycle running and running and running until it's an automatic process. This is the point that you want to get at. And if you're having difficulty when it comes to lucid dreaming and astral traveling, again, this is where the repetition comes into play. Because the more you live in this frequency of positivity and intentional control over yourself and your emotions, you carry that over into the dream world. What I found is that as I start to have success with my lucid dreaming, when I'm starting to become awake in the dream, I'm carrying with me all my affirmations that I've been saying all along. I am master of my destiny. I am master of my universe, right? And I begin to coordinate things and make them happen in my dreams as if I was awake. It's not an overnight process, no pun intended, but if you keep at it, you'll keep getting better. It's like any sport. It's like any craft or art, the art and practice of magic. I know you want to have these results. Keep at it. You can do it. Anybody can do it if they put forth the effort. It's just like being an entrepreneur, right? You got to learn, study, and do. Learn and do. Study and practice. Keep that momentum going. Keep it going. Don't listen to everybody else outside telling you that you can't do it, or, oh, this bad thing's going to happen to you if you do it. Fuck all that. Focus on yourself. Focus on your goals. Focus on your intentions. Keep saying your affirmations. Keep acting on your affirmations. Keep studying. Keep practicing. Keep going. All right? There is no failure in this. There's no failure. You learn and you keep moving. There's no failure. All right? Just reading a lot of emails and messages, and I get the feeling that some people kind of lack trust in themselves. They lack confidence. Well, confidence comes from experience. Keep trying, right? You get knocked down, you pick yourself back up. If you're uncertain about something, do a little bit of studying. Experiment for yourself. Try it out. You're not going to lose anything. There's no failure at this. You're not going to lose your soul, right? Somebody asked me about, what I thought about celebrities selling their souls and stuff like that. I mean, most people don't even know what their soul is. Most people can't even define the term soul. What does it mean? So if you don't even know what it is, how can you sell it? How can you know if you didn't already sell it? To me, signing a contract like that is the same thing as signing your application to go work a 9 to 5. You're giving them your energy and your time, and you have to be there at a certain place. You have to perform a certain task. You have to do these things, or there's going to be consequences, and you trade that for money, right? Just like a record deal or a military time that you put in, same thing. Now, that doesn't mean you're permanently doomed and damned. What you do is you flip it. You get out of it what you need, right? If you're going into the military, if you're working your 9 to 5, if you're making a contract with a demon, you get out of it what you need. You stack your funds, you stack up whatever it is that you're going for, and then you move on, right? Once the contract is up, hopefully you were smart and you saved up what you needed to go out on your own at a higher level. So look, just stay positive throughout all this. That's my message. There's no excuse for you to not succeed unless you just stop trying, period. That's my message for today in this video. There is no failure. Focus, practice. If you're having trouble with meditation, if you're having trouble getting results, keep trying. There's no failure until you stop. All right, so this is TK Trav, aka Travis Magus, here with LVX777. Peace.